Welcome back to the Greenville Chamber's Growing a Greater Greenville podcast. We're excited to continue our Greater Together series on the partnerships that shape Greenville. I'm your host, Carlos Phillips, and today we're talking to two of BlueCross BlueShield of South Carolina's finest. Stephanie DeFresse, Vice President of Sales for the Group and Individual Division and a Greenville Chamber board member, and Mike Harris, Vice President of Sales for Major Group, Chamber, Associations, and Student Health Plans. Now, before we start, I want to take a minute to thank the sponsors of today's episode: BlueCross BlueShield of South Carolina, First National Bank, and Acumen IT. Thank you to those sponsors. All right, let's jump right in. First of all, thank you, Mike. Thank you, Stephanie, for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Carlos.
Mike, if you could, kick us off with an overview of the solutions BlueCross BlueShield of South Carolina offers the business community to meet their health insurance needs and beyond.
Great. Carlos, I'm going to jump in on this one. And one of the values that BlueCross BlueShield sees with the Greenville Chamber is that we've been able to partner with the Greenville Chamber in helping to solve the health insurance needs for employers in the upstate as one of the pillars of the chamber solutions to businesses, small, medium, and large in your community. We focus on business solutions with any employer in the upstate, regardless of your size, regardless of your location, regardless of the type of industry that you're in. We're available to assist you with your health insurance needs in providing programs for not only your medical, but for your pharmacy solutions, your dental, your life insurance, your disability, and a variety of voluntary products through one of our subsidiaries. So these are packaged, that we make it easy for you to purchase. We also work closely with the Chamber of Commerce for educational programs. So anytime that there is a need for an employer with any of these services that we offer, we work closely with the Chamber through educational programs, through enrollment programs, through events, to constantly communicate Blue Cross is a solution in partnership with the Greenville Chamber to offer these programs to any employer. One of the exciting things that we see is that the Chamber also supports a variety of programming, educational programs that we participate in. Just because you might not be buying today, but you kind of want a little bit more about what Blue Cross offers. We do a lot of educational programs so that when the opportunity comes about that you're interested in programs that Blue Cross offers, you've got a little bit of knowledge. So you're going to see it surround a lot in education, updates, meetings, awards that I'll get into in a minute. But we're very excited to be able to partner with the Chamber, offering solutions to all employers, new employers in the business, employers that are expanding in the state of South Carolina. And the other one to consider is employers that are expanding outside the state of South Carolina. We are a valuable resource, letting them know what programs are available in those states, how the network works in their favor. So regardless of they're here in South Carolina or outside the borders of our state, we can sit down and educate them on what the Blues can bring to the table. So overall, the support that Blue Cross Blue Shield and the Chamber creates a very business-friendly environment for employers to get solutions for their employee health benefit needs.
Mike, that was an excellent overview. Thank you. And let's continue on on the theme of today's podcast, which is partnerships. Let's talk about how the Chamber and Blue Cross Blue Shield partner to deliver these solutions to support upstate businesses.
Great question there, Carlos. And I'll definitely tell you the Chamber does not lack opportunity for Blue Cross to participate in your programs. And one of the things I'll definitely say that we appreciate working with the Greenville Chamber is that we are a trustee investor. And that means a lot to Blue Cross of South Carolina, is that we realize that there is a valuable resource in the Greenville Chamber and what they can deliver to all businesses in that community. We also are a supporter of the new facility. If you'll notice, anytime you go into the Chamber, that entry wall, you're going to see Blue Cross's name right there on that entry wall, and the variety and the mural of all the other employers that are there supporting the Greenville Chamber. local programming to support local business leaders. There are several pillars that the Greenville Chamber will connect us with, such as the advocacy, the business growth, the DEI, the economic competitiveness, and leadership development. We see are valuable resources in the community, and Blue Cross is a valuable asset in partnering with the Chamber. We work closely in sponsorship because these are valuable programs that a lot of employers need valuable resources, and the Chamber realizes this, creates the pillars of the programming, and supports all businesses, large, medium, and small. I will say Blue Cross is a very proud supporter of various programmings. Now, we can't do them all, but I will say Carlos and his team definitely directs us in the area where we feel like we would have the most impact with employers. But I will say various programs we do appreciate the opportunity to collaborate with small businesses and large businesses and medium businesses would be the HR Law Update, Small Business Growth Series, Excellent in Entrepreneurship Small Business Awards, Investor Celebration Sponsor, Podcast Sponsor, we're here today, DEI and Athena Leadership Symposium, and the annual meeting award sponsor. So with these various programs, we have the opportunity to get to employers. And I will say we get a lot of conversations in these meetings where people will come up and ask us questions. And there's where that's the valuable resource. And that's one of the things that Blue Cross Blue Shield of South Carolina brings to the Chamber. We're local. We have resources in the community. We participate in the programs. You get to know us outside of a business environment so that when you do see us at the negotiating table or at the opportunity to offer you health insurance, you're very comfortable with the folks that you're sitting and meeting with.
Well, thank you for that overview, Mike. And no doubt that Blue Cross Blue Shield of South Carolina is deeply embedded with the Greenville Chamber, and we certainly appreciate your engagement and that partnership.
Blue Cross Blue Shield of South Carolina is a longtime partner of the Greenville Chamber and offers a wide range of health plans and options designed just for Chamber members. Companies with 51 or more employees have access to Chamber Blue, Blue Cross's exclusive portfolio of more than 40 unique health plans, with enhanced office visit copays, access to innovative apps, and more. Blue Cross is the only South Carolina health insurance carrier serving its citizens for more than 75 years. For information about our health plans for Chamber members, call the Greenville Chamber at 864-239-3723.
Now let's transition over to perhaps the biggest South Carolina Gamecock fan on the planet. Is that fair, Stephanie?
Yeah, it is. Go Gamecocks.
Congrats on the national championship.
Thank you. Yes, that's very exciting. Coach Staley is amazing. So it was a good season. It's a good time to be a Gamecock fan during girls basketball time.
Indeed it is. We won't talk about other sports seasons.
That's
But
right.
it's certainly... All right. Stephanie, first, thank you for not only Blue Cross Blue Shield's South Carolina support, but for your active engagement with our board of directors. We're a much better board with you engaged there. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
So Stephanie, how do you navigate the unique challenges that small and medium-sized businesses face when it comes to offering comprehensive health insurance benefits to their employees?
That's a great question. So we have, so I think all employers have several different challenges. I'm going to just tackle the top few. So number one is cost of premium, right? So the cost of health insurance is going to be a challenge for everyone. And so with that, we have a plethora of different products for them to be able to look at and choose from. And so we've been able to expand our portfolio to not just be a traditionally fully insured offering, but we also offer level funded. We also offer an ICRA arrangement. Now, I'm not going to go into detail of what those are because we could be here all day. However, the point is that we can help accomplish looking at different options to provide the cost or to break down the cost barrier for employers. So I think that that's one. Number two, Mike alluded to it a little bit, is that we have several tools that help employers be able to navigate what kind of plans that their employers are on, our employees are on, how they can get them involved into other programmings with us to keep them healthier and well throughout the year. And then I would say the third, which is a huge challenge, is the administrative burden, right? So not only do we have tools to help those administrators, we also have dedicated account advocates that are here locally. And so we send them out into the field to meet with the administrators and help them in person if they want to. And I think that that is a huge benefit to be able to help with not only the cost, navigating, all the administrative burdens, but also to make you feel at ease that we have a local presence and can be there in your offices at any time.
Those are certainly some great solutions to help businesses navigate what sometimes is a challenging health insurance environment. So thank you so much for that. Now, from your perspective, what are some of the most significant benefits that businesses can gain from partnering with Blue Cross Blue Shield for their health insurance needs beyond just cost savings?
Absolutely. So I think that we've said a little bit of parts of the answer throughout. However, I'm going to hone in on a few. One is we are the only carrier in South Carolina that offers a chamber partnership. And I think that that's important because when employers partner with the chamber and then they purchase a Blue Cross Blue Shield plan, it supports our local business community and it helps with the vision and the goals and the mission of the Greenville Chamber. So I think that that is a huge differentiator that helps employers because if we're helping the business community in turn with your healthcare choices, that's a win-win-win. And I think the other biggest item, which is I kind of alluded to before, is we're local. So we have a local office in Greenville. We have a team that goes out into the field on a regular basis. We also have partnerships with our local hospital systems and providers to help and make sure that there is a place for all employees to be able to get care throughout our state. And so those are the biggest benefits in order to really provide the best plan for your employees.
Thank you, Stephanie. Those are a lot of great reasons to engage with Blue Cross Blue Shield and the many benefits that they offer to businesses. Now, in what ways do you provide ongoing support and assistance to businesses enrolled in your health insurance plans?
So, Carlos, I'm going to jump in on this one. And I think we've peppered in some of the responses earlier, but I just want to make sure it's clear to our audience here today, the support of the Blues. The biggest support that the Blue Cross Blue Shield offers is our local teams. We have boots on the ground here in South Carolina, which is very exciting. And we have resources that live in the community there in the Greenville area, which is very exciting as well. So you will see our representatives in the community quite often and participating in a lot of the chamber events. But together, we have representation to help at employee meetings, like open enrollment sessions that an employer may host, annual meetings where they want to review their benefits, look at how their benefits are structured, maybe do some forecasting and long-range planning, plan review. At any time there needs to be billing support or customer service, if someone just feels like they can't get to the right person when they smile and dial or call Blue Cross, we will actually go and send and deploy local representatives to go meet with that employer. So we're available. Also keep in mind that with the chamber plans is that the employers can still work with their local brokers. So there's a lot of valuable resources in the local brokers that can support and give assistance in addition to what Blue Cross Blue Shield does, because every employer is about 3 deep in resources that they can get to. Their local broker, their account executive, and of course the management here at Blue Cross. So they're going to see us in the community, as Stephanie and I have both said. They're going to see us in the community. They're going to see us at the events. Please stop and have a conversation with us anytime you feel like you might have a question about your benefits. Stephanie and I don't mind talking about it because we live and breathe Blue Cross all day long. So catch us and say, hey, I need to talk to you about this. We're more than happy to do it. But you're going to see us at a lot of the chamber functions, and that's why we're there. We want to have a representation to be there. But one of the things I'll also pepper in today is one of the recent relationships that we brought to the table for the chamber is the South Carolina Healthy Business Challenge. This is a program that has recently expanded into the upstate, that Blue Cross Blue Shield is the key sponsor for this program. It originally started in the Low Country, as the Charleston Healthy Business Challenge in a relationship with MUSC and the city of Charleston. The Lieutenant Governor of South Carolina felt that our program was so valuable in the Low Country. She encouraged us to expand it into the upstate and the Midlands. So we are proud to say now with the South Carolina Healthy Business Challenge, we are statewide. And this program is designed for all employers in this state to provide local resources and allow you a platform to share ideas around a healthy work environment. From making sure you've got the right wellness programs initiated, making sure you've got the right resources, tapping into local resources within your community, and then networking is the biggest feature. We do programs throughout the year. We bring employers together to have conversation about what's working in their communities. But one of the key factors here is every chamber business that purchases a Blue Cross Blue Shield plan, regardless of size, has access to this program at no cost. And the resources that are provided through the hospital system as well, they will come on site. They'll do assessment of your programs. They'll do assessment of your work environment, and they'll give you some guidance or to ways that you can make improvements to have a healthier workforce. Now, one of the things we talk about with the South Carolina Healthy Business Challenge is that everybody is at a different perspective. You've got different workforce, you've got a different layout, you might have multi-state, you might have one location, and we know everybody is starting at a different starting point. But the cool thing is with this is that the resources available will address where you currently are and where you're wanting to go. And the valuable resources that we bring to the table will help you get to the next step. And it all comes around culture, the culture of your employer environment. It starts from the top and goes down. So we'll educate you and train you and give you resources to other employers to get ideas for you to take back to your work environment, and you do what's best for your employer and what your budget can withstand, because everybody has a different goal. But the South Carolina Healthy Business Challenge, and I just wanted to pepper that in today, is a resource for all chamber members to participate at no cost. So we hope to have a lot of participation in the upstate now that we've expanded the program.
Well, and Mike, thank you for sharing that overview. We had a wonderful event up here in the upstate at Thornblade Club a few weeks ago, and it was great because we really didn't talk. We didn't talk about health insurance. We talked about health. We talked about wellness, and we talked about how to make sure that talent is equipped and healthy to perform. Not only did we cover physical health, but mental health was also prominently featured during that meeting as well.
Right. Well, Carlos, I want to take a moment just to thank you because you were our moderator for the panel. And I will say you knocked it out of the ballpark. You did a fantastic job with the audience that we had. We had over 150 people in the audience. Half of the audience were brand new to the programming. So we're getting a lot of traction. So if for anybody on this podcast, if you're remotely interested, just go to the South Carolina Healthy Business Challenge. Signing up is free. And again, being a chamber member, the Hospital Association assessment is at no cost. That's a $500 value, and they will actually come on site and review your workspace to help you improve employee satisfaction at work. So thanks for giving us that opportunity. And again, Carlos, you did a fantastic job as a panel moderator.
Well, thank you. And as you probably know, any moderator can be great if they've got great talent. They're surrounded by great talent, and that panel was talent filled. So it was a great time. Thank you for the opportunity.
Let's turn a trip to the branch into a tap on your phone. Let's hit pause on a lost debit card without hitting pause on life. That's how First National Bank is redefining convenience. With a top-rated mobile app that puts more security and control at your fingertips, and friendly people to help you succeed right by your side. Let's get started at fnb-online.com or your local First National Bank branch. FNB, member FDIC.
So as evidenced by your support and sponsorship of this podcast, and as you've mentioned throughout the podcast, countless other initiatives, Blue Cross Blue Shield is a huge supporter of the chamber and our community. But I've got to ask, why is that so important to you? Why is it so important for you to be such a huge supporter of key initiatives at the chamber and throughout our community.
Yeah, so I'll take that one. So it's who we are, right? So it goes a lot. It goes beyond our social responsibility as an employer in our state. It really is who we are and what we do. And just even this past Saturday was our day of service, and we had hundreds of employees that we provided opportunities to go into throughout our communities and help. Some picked up trash, some helped paint, some helped build buildings, some just helped restock shelves. Some just hung out with some children that needed some extra attention and care. So we sent hundreds of our employees into our communities to provide service. We provide tons of opportunity to provide time and talent as well. So we also serve on several boards throughout our state, helping nonprofits and communities and businesses in our state to thrive, and making sure that we are there every step of the way to provide guidance, but also any help that we can. And I would say the last part is to really help us build relationships. So we are the only South Carolina health and like domiciled South Carolina health carrier in our state. And so at the end of the day, we're all neighbors, right? So we are South Carolinians serving South Carolinians. And so as much as I know that, Mike offered, hey, come talk to us about health insurance at a happy hour at the chamber event, I'm not sure if, anyone's going to take us up on that. But it's funny because we are people's best friends. When we're standing in the pharmacy and people are having issues getting their prescription filled, they'll say, hey, staff, how are you? Can you help me? So we are always accessible anywhere we are within our community. We do give back. It is one of my absolute favorite parts of working here at Blue Cross is the opportunity to serve, the opportunity to be able to go out with my employees and colleagues, roll up our sleeves and get dirty and help, everyone around our state. So that's exciting. And then, as you mentioned, our chamber relationship, so we do have a statewide chamber program in place to help serve all of our business communities. And that's also very important to us to really make sure that the businesses around our state, and of course, I am maybe a little biased as I do sit on the chamber board up in Greenville, really thrives in making sure that we are on the pulse of what is going on with businesses, where their needs are, and to figure out how we can continue to provide anything that we can from a resource perspective, building products to get there, programming, in order to really still be part of the community, whether it is nonprofits, chambers, employer groups. We want to be at the table and we want to have that relationship ongoing.
Well, Stephanie, you are certainly visible and accessible. And I know the chamber appreciates that, and as do the businesses here in our community. But I have a question. It is about your day of service. I'm trying to envision how Mike engaged in your day of service. Did he paint? Did he paint a building? Did he plant a tree? What did he do?
So my day of service was stocking shelves. So that was it was an indoor job. So it was a good one, but it was one that had a short window of time that morning, and I went out and supported stocking the shelves at one of the food banks. So it's again, as Stephanie said, we had an entire list of resources that need assistance in the local communities here. And it was hard to sign up because a lot of them filled up so quickly. And that's one of the things I'll say about the Blue Cross team. Now, I've been with the company for 31 years. It is just amazing when you sit back and look at the engagement Blue Cross of South Carolina does for our local communities. And I think that's one of the most valuable resources as the only local insurance company in our state is that our 14,000 employees give back. And that's so important. And we're in the community. We live in your community. We're your neighbors. We go to church with you. We break bread with you. And as, Carlos said, Stephanie being on the chamber board, it's just another one of the valuable resources. And Stephanie are both into scouting. So I know that you got brought up. She's in the Girl Scout side and I'm on the Boy Scout side. And so we definitely give back to our community for the youth. And I think that's one of the biggest things from our perspective, personally, for the two of us. getting back to the youth in our community, because those are the future leaders that are coming up to run these businesses. So I think that's extremely important, as well as to the chamber as well, providing education, valuable education and resources to the youth of our community, because we are a manufacturing state. And those youth are the ones that are going to be filling those jobs moving forward. And chambers throughout the state are supporting the education and the resources that are needed to help these businesses throughout our state.
Good deal. Thank you, Mike. Stephanie, you didn't stock shelves, right?
I did not stock shelves, no. So there is a camp called Camp Cole here actually it's in Eastover, South Carolina, but we consider it part of the Midlands. My oldest daughter is going to be a camp counselor this year, but it serves lots of different children throughout the summer. So they start off with the Camp of Impact, which is for homeless children. And then it goes into, they do have a week for disabled, for cancer, and then it goes on and on. So they serve a need for children to have an experience they would have no other time throughout their year, except for when they come to Camp Cole. So we helped beautify the camp, and I did not actually build the building, but they did build like a shed, and I did help paint, I did help rake, I helped shovel. And so it is almost ready to go. I think it's ready to go for sure for this summer, to start their camp programs, but that's where I was.
Thank you, Stephanie. And your engagement in your day of service, it really it resembles how you're engaged with businesses as well. You're deeply engaged. You're very passionate, and our community really benefits from that. And so, thank you for that, and thank you for sharing your stories, your day of service stories as well.
Yes, I love that.
Yep. All right. So again, Mike and Stephanie, thank you for joining us on today's podcast. I want to thank our generous sponsors again: BlueCross BlueShield of South Carolina, First National Bank, and Acumen IT. And I also want to thank our listeners for joining us today and for helping us in our efforts to grow a greater green. Thanks again.